Ro Khanna laid out an awesome new litmus test for 2020 Democratic candidates. Take a look. He says, here's a basic test for Democratic candidates in the 2020 primary. Will you criticize Trump's intervention in Venezuela and pledge to do no more unconstitutional wars and entanglements? Listen, Bernie the other day released a great, basically a test for Democratic candidates and for Trump. And it basically said, you have to agree to do no more shitty trade deals, to, renegotiate the shitty ones we have, to not give any more contracts to companies that outsource American jobs. It was just a great list of things that everybody should do in order to fight back against outsourcing and fight back against the destruction of the working class in this country. And, we covered it, and it kind of blew up a little bit online, and people were talking about it. This is the next thing that the Bernie Sanders campaign should release. Here's a test. Will you pledge to do no more unconstitutional offensive wars? No more unconstitutional offensive, also entanglements, as he says, which to me, that means airstrikes, drone strikes, stuff like that. So in other words, you can't just willy-nilly go into more countries and start doing this stuff. You have to pledge to do no more unconstitutional wars and pledge to roll back the ones we're currently in. I think you should definitely do that. And if you make that a centerpiece, that'll go a long way. And also what you need to do is say, will you pledge to cut back on our offensive wars and reinvest at home? So rebuild our infrastructure with the money that we save from not going to a zillion offensive wars. This should be front and center, and Bernie should release a similar thing like he did with trade on this issue. And if Bernie doesn't do it, Tulsi should do it, because now on this issue, we've gotten to a point where the time has come. Everybody's ready for it. It's time to get out of these terrible offensive wars we're in, and it's time to not do any more. It's time to roll it back. At a time when Trump is taking us in the wrong direction, look what he's doing in Venezuela, and look what they're trying to do in Iran. In Iran, they're trying to topple the economy by forcing their oil exports to zero. And when you topple the economy, the government implodes. So they're trying to do regime change in multiple more countries now. We're still in Iraq and Afghanistan, and they're trying to do it in more countries. So it's about damn time we had candidates who were principled and on the other side of this and fighting for that position.